What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about a couple of my favorite things, science and eggs, right? So this semester in science, we've been talking a lot about erosion, we've talked about physical change, chemical change, but what does it really look like? We've seen it on mountains, we've seen it in pictures, but what does it look like? So today we're going to do a quick experiment, talk about chemical change or chemical reactions that can cause this egg to go from being hard, and it doesn't move shape, it is hard, it cannot fit inside this bottle, but we're going to look at how a chemical reaction can cause a change in this egg to where when I set it on top, it can then be sucked into the bottle without breaking the egg. So before we even start, take a guess. What are you seeing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? And what do you predict will happen to this egg? Good. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to boil some water. Step one, boil water. All right, now that we got the water boiling, it's actually pretty easy. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take these two eggs, these two bright, shiny guys right here, we're gonna put these two eggs into the water. We're gonna keep it boiling for about 10 minutes. Then we're gonna take it out. We're gonna see what happens to these eggs. So, let's see. Let those sit for about another 10 minutes. So, see you soon. All right, so safety first. We always got to have our safety glasses on, so we put our trusty Ray-Ban safety glasses on because that's what I have here. So with that said, again, remember we're doing everything from stuff we found around our house. So found me some nice safety gloves that we've got here. Just gonna go ahead and put those on. Remember, if you're doing anything with fire or any experiment, really, you should probably always, for sure, have an adult around. So, with that being said, I'll be your adult for the day, right here. And again, we've got our safety glasses. Remember, if you guys can see here, we've got our nice steaming bowl of freshly boiled eggs. Looks like they're still cooling off. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is some smoke. So, or steam, whatever. So we got this here. And then here's my trusty wooden egg. As you can see, the wooden egg represents like a regular egg that's not hard boiled. It doesn't go in, we know that. It doesn't go in. Hey, it's not a trick. See ya. All right, it's not a trick, right? These aren't trick things. We've got our paper to start a fire, because we know, gotta have a fire, right? So, first thing, ordinary jar. It looks like there's some water. Silly, silly, silly. Ordinary jar. Paper. Lighter. Let's get this right here. Everyone can see our materials. Here is our egg. And we're even gonna So we have to make this catch on fire enough to where all of that air inside the jar starts to get really, really hot and expand. And once that happens, then it's gonna try to get all of the air out of the top of the jar, and we're gonna make sure it's on fire, and then we're gonna put an egg on top and watch what happens. So let's get an egg, boop. And as you can see, this egg is slowly being sucked down in there. Doop, 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 doop. And as that air contracts, it creates this vacuum, creates a vacuum down here. And what it's doing is that hot air, when we started the fire, it went, but then we put the egg on top, and just like that candle we had yesterday, it put the fire out, right? It put the fire out. And when that fire goes out, that means the heat goes away. And when the heat goes away, that means everything contracts. And so when everything contracts, it creates this vacuum, which means it's going to suck everything in, which is why we are slowly watching this egg slide down through the neck of this bottle. And again, it's going pretty slow. But while we wait on that and see if it gets all the way down there, what we're gonna do is move on over to this big guy. Now, this one may be a little bit more difficult. I'm not 100% sure how it's gonna work because it is such a big container, right? So I'm not 100% sure. Hey, check it out, our egg. Oh! So, again, safety glasses, check. Different kind of lighter, check. We're on fire. Look at this. I know. Who said school wasn't fun? So, we're still lighting this stuff up. As you can see, sometimes two things are better than one. So we're gonna light it up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this up here to the forefront. So, still trying to get our fire going in the orange one here. Let's take a look. All right, okay, all right. We're gonna push it down in there, and we're gonna see if one of our eggs, oh my goodness. Oh, man, oh man. All right, Mr. Carter. All right, Mr. Carter. And as this one was going, which was pretty sweet, this one also went in. Now, how do we get these out? So, in order to get them out, we have to put some air pressure inside. Remember, as I explained, like I was explaining, when the hot air is inside, it starts to push out. And when it tries to get out, the only way it can go is through the top opening. When we put that lid on, remember, fire has to have three things. If you guys don't remember, he told us yesterday, it has to have a fuel source, it has to have heat, it has to have oxygen, right? And the oxygen is fueling the fire. Once we put this on top though, there's no more oxygen, so no air, no fire. So it gets on top, there's no fire, the air's not hot inside of here anymore. So then it starts to get cold, and when we get cold, we contract. And so when it contracts, it sucks that egg back in. Now, how do we get it back out? Well, we have to get some air pressure inside. But to get air pressure inside, we have to create a seal. So, as you can see, this is a pretty large opening, and that's going to be a little difficult. But this guy right here looks like it's about the same size as my mouth. It is still smoking, so that is a little worrisome, but let's take a look. Let's make sure we can get our egg up here first. It looks like what's coming out first is our handy dandy fire that we had used, the paper that we had used for the fire. Yuck. And now we've got this egg, so let's get it out. Oh my gosh. All right, so just for you guys to see that again, let's push this egg back down in there. Yep. And let's pull it. Look, you can see it. It's not coming out. But, look, and I'll show you. And just like that, guys, the air pressure that we created in there shot that egg right back out. And so like I said the other day, hey, it is totally possible to get an egg down inside of here using fire, obviously, and it sucks it in. And once it goes in, how do we get it out? Let me show you. How do we get it out? I'm gonna regret this. I know it. I know I'm gonna regret doing this. But how do we get it out? We blow right on there. And for those of you still watching, I hope you enjoyed it. And this, guys, what we're going to be doing in class, using some duct tape and our air pump to see if we can create a seal and get some of that pressure to shoot this back out. So, like I said, I'm excited this worked out for us, and I'm really excited